Fans, I apologize for showing you just the wall when we started. Look, we're still figuring out this live thing, but we got our first in-studio guests. La Jolla High School is here. I'm going to flip this around so that we can see you guys. All right. So they will be able to see us there. They will also be able to hear us on the microphones. So the best you could do to speak into the microphones, please. That would be great. Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. We have here three. All of you were on the championship team, or you were not? Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Three championship players, one championship coach from La Jolla High School. Thank you guys so much for being our first in-studio guest. Let's just go around the room and introduce ourselves to our audience.
Okay, my name is Makai Smith. I'm a varsity wide receiver, class of 2022.
Oh, wait. Are people just specifically one positions anymore? I feel like everybody's athlete or something. Okay, deal, fine. Keep going.
My name is Frankie Castronovo, and I'm a strong safety.
Sweet. Tyler Roach, head football coach.
You're number 4 for you? 5 for you?
Five.
Jeez.
Going into 5. Short fourth one, but going into 5.
Just a quick trip through the fourth one
Right.
for a couple of minutes, and
Jackson Stroud.
you can move that over instead of you don't have to lean your frame in. I do not want you to hurt your back. The last thing I want to do is be the one responsible for a little tweak. I'll beat your ass on the show, but that not in person. No physical damage in person.
Okay.
Jackson, you are the quarterback, and you are also.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling everybody where you have committed to play college football?
The University of Washington.
Awesome. I don't want to take up any of their time talking about you and your successes. We will get a solo interview with you later this season if that's okay, because I'm sure that you have plenty of people that want to tout you and chase after them. How many grown men have hit you up in your DMs trying to gain clout and favor? Like, do you have those kinds of people?
Mostly just people texting me about, I'll give you $100 to post something on your story or something. But
It gets a little weird when you
yeah.
start being like, I'm 17, man, and what are we doing here? And especially with name, image, and likeness, Mikey Williams pissing me off making $1.5 million. Stay at Sandy Cedar, he could have still made that $1.5 million. Guys, I want to start with Padre talk because tomorrow is high school football. We'll get to some high school football, but right now you are all San Diegans. How did they do with the deadline? You happy with the Padres right now? Like, are we all in on this season? Everyone okay with not getting Scherzer? Or did we have the expectations set at the
I think
Padres?
we're still good.
All right, we're still good?
Yeah, I think we're still good.
A vote for still good? Or I see you apprehensive.
Concerned
Slide
about
that
our
mic over.
pitching.
You're worried about the pitching.
Concerned about the pitching.
And because he's a coach, that means that is a more valid opinion than anyone else's in the room.
I think we're still good.
I think as long as we have Tatis, we're still good.
I think that all three of you are spoiled rotten because you have not known the depths of Will Venable and
Don't get me started.
begging the Padres to win 60 games. Like, you're begging the Padres to win 60 games just because you don't want to lose 100 something. It's been, Coach, who do you associate with the leanest of the years of the Padres?
Oh, God.
Like, give me a name, and then we'll move on to some high school football.
Oof. He was actually probably the better player of the year, but Khalil Green, that was like our superstar for the longest time.
Oh, we just took his ball. We just moved his bobblehead out of the
That
rotation.
was about all we
over
had
there.
for a long period of time.
Any of you guys were even alive? You were alive, obviously, but for Khalil Green, yes, no, any recollection?
No.
Bless all of you. You are the happiest, most ignorance is bliss Padres fans. Okay, high school football. It starts, quote unquote, tomorrow for all teams across the San Diego CIF section. For some, that's an early morning walk through full practice. What do you guys got going on? What does the first 3 or 4 days look like?
Yeah, for us, so yeah, we'll get out on the field officially tomorrow in the afternoon. Sorry, Mike over here. 4 o'clock, we'll hit the field in the afternoon for us in helmets. We'll have a fun little team bonding after practice tomorrow night. Got a movie night with the team. Then we'll be back early tomorrow, Saturday morning. Got a fun team builder in the morning and then afternoon practice.
What's the movie?
To be determined. I can't disclose that.
Okay. Is it a football movie or is it a non-football?
Yeah, no, it'll be a football movie.
Okay, so it's one of like 6 then. Like,
Yeah,
there's
so
no
there-
creative.
You can guess probably. Narrow it down.
Is
to
it
probably 2 or
serious
3.
football movie or comedy football movie?
Yeah. Well, so actually, I have 2. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
So you can help me decide.
Varsity Blues for me is always the rogue out of left field choice because that's all about not taking things too
The edited
seriously.
or unedited version?
Oh, the unedited version. Just you don't
There
tell
might
the
be
parents.
parents around,
Yeah, you
yeah.
just don't tell the parent.
Right.
Oh no, that was what my JV coach showed, and he doesn't work at La Jolla anymore.
You can imagine why.
Well, because he wanted to ask our math teacher to prom the same way that they did. It was a weird era. right before social media. The coaches were still able to get away with a lot. Yelling at kids, nothing's
Different
hurt
time.
but your pride. Yeah, and only 11 years ago, not like 20 or 30 plus years ago.
Right.
So you guys are excited. I'm assuming that's an overstatement. What's the emotions though? Like right now, is this championship is that or bust? Or are you just happy to be back out on the field for a full season? Give us a little bit of the mindset from the team right now.
For me personally, I'm just kind of happy to finally be back on a field. But I feel like the main goal right now is definitely going back to state. Just getting another ring from CIF.
That's insane. State. That's well beyond what I had this, but I was sectioned it. So
I would say both, honestly. Just ready to get back on the field and also ready to go and try to win as many games as possible.
you guys, what did you lose in graduation last year? A little bit of the defense, like a decent amount of the defensive starters, or was it 20 plus?
Yeah, we got Frankie back and Anthony back. The rest graduated. So lost a lot on the defensive side, returned a lot on the offensive side, which we're excited about. But defense is ready to go. They're ready to step into the challenge.
So you're bringing back more offensive weapons for Jackson than the Packers are for Aaron Rodgers. How does that feel? Does that feel good? A true story. You literally, you are a quarterback going into camp with a better offensive situation than the best quarterback, or one of the best in the NFL. So for you, what has this offseason been?
Well, just been working with our team, especially with like the short COVID, like since we just played like 3 months ago, we've just been pretty much summer workouts and then right back into it. It's only been like 2 months, so
It's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it
pretty
feels like it. I mean, nothing felt normal about this offseason. Like, did you guys even? Maybe this is the wrong question. Did you guys miss football? Like,
Oh,
you- okay.
yeah.
Well, you laugh, but I've been there, and I've talked to
Yeah.
enough people that at the end of that state season, I talked to a fair amount of people who are like, dude, it was a great run, but
It was a long.
17
yeah.
games, like you reach the point sometimes
Yeah.
where you need that month, 2 months, 5 months, whatever it is, to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I missed this. I really, really missed this. But was it four
Five
games?
ga-
5 games?
games, so yeah.
So it made us want
Not
to
for
do
you.
more.
Yeah, I had that pointed out
Forward
on
some
our stats, our stat of the day that we did for you. There's people put, yeah, you need to put an asterisk on that. Plans to get kicked out of any more games this year?
No.
No?
No.
Coach is happy to hear about that.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Coach, have you been kicked out of games yet?
No, can't say I haven't. Probably rubbed a few refs wrong, but I've stayed in games.
Yeah, because I'm curious, because the football, like, I don't know, just football in general, ejections seem weird other than legitimate targeting.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like everything should just be, like, it's football. It's legalized warfare. You should be allowed to be a tad bit vulgar and mean to other teams. Like, you're not signing up for this to happen in a I guess in a quiet stadium, everyone hears everything.
Yeah, it was a little different for sure this spring.
That all behind us. I'm assuming you guys don't really build off of that year as like, oh, we for sure, like the Helix win was great, but it did, like, was last year kind of a vacuum. Like, yeah, it felt great to get some games, but coming off the championship year, you guys built in a certain way. I'm sure. Did you approach this off season differently, or I mean,
No, we had a statement to make in the spring. We knew we had a good squad. We were up for the challenge. The boys were focused. We stayed together as a team through the hard times of COVID. And I know some people were saying, "Oh, it didn't count, didn't matter, didn't put the rankings."
oh no, it did.
No,
We
BS.
beat Helix. It mattered.
We were
It
strapped
entirely
and ready
mattered.
to go, and we came out and knew we wanted to make a statement. And we did just that. So we're definitely building off of that and going to carry momentum into this fall.
Where does that game rank amongst CIF championships? That way, I mean, am I wrong that was the biggest win of last season? Where do the games of the wins of last year rank against like something like a
The
championship?
ring's always more important.
Always more important.
Yeah.
Deal. Fair enough. When you retell this story, though, you will end up having just beat Reggie Bush. Like it'll get bigger and bigger until, man, Reggie was out there. Just don't do the math. Just figure it out. Makai, what's it like catching balls from this guy?
It's amazing. I've been playing with Jackson since we were 6 years old, so I just feel like we've always had like
In the same relationship, wide receiver, quarterback since 6 years old.
We were playing Pop Warner together, since we were kids. With actually our offensive coordinator, Jerome Watson. But
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
You need an offensive coordinator at 6 years old? That's preparing well in advance.
Yeah.
Starting young.
You were left out of this group. You weren't included as 6-year-olds.
No, no,
you
I was not.
you weren't on the other team
I was
tackling
I was
them.
at the YMCA when I was 6.
Swimming lessons. Before his Olympic swimming dreams got smashed. So it's just. I mean, is it the point where like you don't even need to call the play? Like you just have like the look down level, like people
Fingers, hands,
just-
hand motions.
I feel like-
and you're running down, you're like, oh man, the ball, I'm gonna turn around and the ball's gonna be.
Just perfect. It's right where I want it to be.
That must be nice. I guess I'm just still salty that I dropped my 2 passes thrown at me in high school because I turned around and they were bullets fired into my chest on a waggle right. Like I'm like, you don't need to throw it that hard, man. I'm 14 feet away from you. I could have used.
I was a fullback too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And our quarterback kept bragging that he was going to Notre Dame, so he threw the ball real hard all the time. And I'm like, you were a preferred walk-on because your dad donated like $100,000. You don't need to flex your arm on all of us, Mulvey. Weird years. Focusing on the defensive side. New guys coming in. You are part of the older leadership on that defense. What have been some of the challenges and maybe what have been some of the opportunities with this new defense?
Yeah, so we have a lot of new opportunities with some seniors coming back to play football who took a couple years off. And they're showing us some good signs this year, playing at linebacker.
Couple years off or just the COVID year?
So there's some who took off the COVID year, and there's some who took off 2 years, sophomore year and the COVID year.
Deal.
And they're all coming back, and they're showing us some good signs. So we're looking forward to coaching them up all year and playing with them.
What do you guys have scheduled early? I mean, is this just you're going to give me the we take it one game at a time, week by week answer, or is there a game early in the schedule that we're talking about being something that you guys are really, really excited as a?
Well, first game we got Bishops literally a mile away, so exactly.
It's the battle of the ocean.
It's not.
No.
We run out there.
That would have been a battle a couple years ago with Buckner.
With Buckner, yeah, for sure.
Even then, Buckner, Max picked him off what, twice?
He did, yeah. We played a tight one there.
Yeah.
I wish we had that one back.
Yeah. No. Hey,
Moving
look.
forward.
Going
We'll talk
for
about that one.
Look, we have to talk about it though in the transition of this rivalry, going from like the year before you got there, Bishops it was like 65-3,
Yeah.
like and it did not go well because like Bishops had fake punts that they were accidentally calling because they put in the JV snapper and he's going over and then Moses Mooney runs for a touchdown. Yeah, it was a debacle. So I will take a 2-point loss when.
And they whooped us when I was an assistant for a couple years too before that. So
And now
They've
they
had
are,
our number.
And now they are easy pickings. So run up the damn score, break the scoreboard, ruin their night. And then going down the rest of this, scripts, a rehash of the championship game. Ultimately, though, this isn't a rehashing of the championship game because it's different teams. 2 years later, they lost very senior heavy with Durkin and all those guys. Do you consider this a rivalry team, or is this just a fun game for the next couple of years?
I consider it rivalry.
This is rivalry now.
Yeah, because 2 years
This is a
ago,
rivalry,
if you go back 2 years, we won a game that they were taking a knee, and Max Smith jumped over and knocked the ball
I
out.
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, so it's been a
I'm
couple
a
years.
tremendous troll on social media for whenever we do something well. The journalistic ethics be damned on any time we do anything good. Okay, so rivalry then. Yes?
Yeah.
Coach, I'm happy that Point Loma is back.
you're welcome. I know it's a big one.
That's a big one for me. Do you three have any idea what that game means?
No.
Just
I
like
don't think they've learned yet.
it's not
a little
like
bit.
it's
I
not
know.
it's not the like we lost most of it
Yeah.
over a 25 30 year
It's a long
span.
of L's. I've looked.
Yeah. If you go back to like the 70s and the 90s, we had two little blips where we were like disproportionately better than everybody else around us. But other than that, Point Loma, there is a shoe.
Yeah.
There is a silver shoe that goes back to what, like the mid 20s?
It's the old school rivalry. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
like we are one of us and Point Loma, technically one of the oldest rivalries.
Apparently it disappeared for a while.
the shoe physically.
And they found it was like someone was sick and they lent him the shoe to heal or something. Ended up in like store. I read about it. I
It
found
makes
an article
sense.
about
Yeah.
this.
No. Well,
And then it revived. They brought it back.
yes.
So.
Well, and also oddly enough, because they have lights now. Yes.
They do.
We want-
Their field's under repair, so we're playing that at La Jolla.
So we were always their one night game,
Yep.
and they would bring in
portable
portable lights, and it was always the worst case scenario for a pass heavy offense because those mobile
All
portable
disappears.
lights are absolutely awful,
Yeah.
and you'd have receivers being like, "We coming back into the huddle, we cannot run 15-yard routes, coach. We have to run these little underneaths because if he puts it up in the ancient times, man, I feel like I'm talking about just
Date
old
yourself.
school football here. Then Del Norte, modern day Catholic. I apologize. Christian, Lincoln, Madison, Cathedral Catholic, Saints. So that goes from. You guys have TikToks? Yes.
Yeah.
That goes from the "Oh my God" to "Oh my God" like sound of like that looks like a fun first half of the season, and then like, what's the mindset looking at those last 4 games? Is that are you guys gonna tell me that's all just opportunity and you're stoked for that, or
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people we're gonna go in that game. A lot of people think we're gonna lose, so just try to prove people wrong.
I love that. And that's been because that's been a multiple year thing for you guys. Like that's not just this offseason. You guys are now feeling like that.
That's what we have to deal with every year.
Is reaching that point of just like we're that confident in ourselves.
It's reaching that point to where like people will believe that La Jolla is something.
And coach, for you, that's been a 5-year journey. Like this has to be pretty good feeling that you walk around with players that are that confident.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Put in a lot of work. I mean, when I took over, we were in the 3rd tier of the city conference, you know, and no knock against.
We weren't even in the right league.
We've moved up 2 leagues since. It's been a journey.
Coach Busey. Yeah. I never say his name right intentionally. I say both just to cover it. He has departed to go back to Valhalla. We all wish him the best, or we're huge rivals with them now?
No. Wish him absolutely
Deal.
the best.
Who has taken over defensive responsibilities? You want to let everyone know what that? You got a new play caller on the defensive side.
Yeah, so Coach Dixon will take over. Stephen Dixon. He's been in the program the last few years. He actually, the two of us coached together over at La Jolla Country Day for a year. He was kind of my right-hand man on the defensive side. So
well, and that's sort of where I wanted to get it. Is that there's confidence. Like it feels seamless. The transition here. It feels like this is a promotion from within that you guys are probably very happy with.
Yeah,
defensively,
he's made it really easy to transition coaches.
I see a quarterback nodding about the defense. That's good. That means that you're not worried that you're gonna. I mean, you're enjoying throwing 8,000 yards this season, but not feeling like you have to.
Yes.
Deal. That can be taxing because you had some of those with, I'm sure, with.
Colin Rugg.
Well, I was also going to say, weren't you there for the tail end of Burmeister?
At Country Day.
At Country Day.
Coached him his senior year.
You probably had some of those the senior year where you're like,
I was a D coordinator.
we're taxed a little bit on the defense, and Braxton just having to, because you guys have what, like 25, 30 people? You have the Bishops thing every year.
We
where you're
relied
just,
on numbers.
Yeah.
But,
The numbers are still small, and no matter how much small school coaches want to be like, oh, we coach them up, kids eventually just physically get exhausted and beat down.
Totally,
And
no doubt.
you have to turn to sometimes people just like, got 7 touchdowns in you today?
Yeah,
All right.
do your thing.
Do your thing, man. We'll get you guys out of here in a couple minutes. Don't need predictions necessarily. We've heard state, but is this something that just like through all of the levels, freshman, JV, varsity? We've got freshmen and JV back this year.
We will, yeah. We'll have all 3 teams.
100%. Like, is this institutional, like the whole program, top to bottom, or do you guys feel like this is a senior class thing where you guys are just this is your moment, just in terms of being confident for winning?
I think it's just the program that we built up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel confident as seniors that when you guys depart at the end of this year, there's a couple grades behind you that have the messages soaked in, and the La Jolla football is on an upward trajectory.
Well, we'll see, but yeah, they have the message soaked in, and they have the culture and all that. So
Talk a little bit more toward in the mic as I'm looking at my. No, it's all good. So we're not going to try and milk a 5th year of eligibility then out of you, shave the head, put you in some glasses and a mustache. Deal. Fair enough. If you don't mind, I will ask you you guys okay if I bug him 1 or 2 questions about Washington State? What made the decision for you?
just the coaches, the people. That's always what makes the decision. Just the people, the coaches, the coaching staff, and just saying they believed in me.
Have you thrown a football in the rain?
No, I have not. Not yet.
You've not thrown a wet football ever before?
Okay, no, yeah. I've had a couple of rain games, but not up there.
He didn't remember throwing it in the rain, so I don't know about this now. He said initially no rain. Now you're saying there was rain. Not in there hasn't been a La Jolla High game that's been rain, has it?
Was there a state game already?
Maybe one of the
It
state.
rained before the state game.
Yeah,
We had
or
one.
2 years ago.
So basically, you're
UC
showing up
we
to
played
you're,
UC a few
you're
years
showing up to
ago.
Washington having played like 30 snaps in the rain
Pretty
before.
much, yeah.
Nice. That seems bold. That seems like anytime I talk to these athletes, they're like, yeah, I'm going back east. I'm like, you caught a football in the snow before? Because that feels like that hurts. We wish you the best of luck. We are really super congratulatory. It's going to be something that's always really fun to watch, but for us now this year, where is the bar set for you personally? Like, do you have numbers that you wake up and stare at every day? Like, I got to throw this amount of touchdowns. Do you have X amount of wins? Because you seem like a competitive
Definitely
guy.
winning.
The winning is what you have circled right now.
I wouldn't care about my personal stats as long as we're winning.
Oh, coach, you've gotten to him well. You've trained him well. You've
That's
trained
it.
him well. This is reliable. You guys are like, hell yeah, no. The 100 catches and the 50 tackles. Yeah, give me. We'll close out on this note. You guys have football back. You had to go through a pandemic. You've been on both ends of this now. What are you going to miss the most about high school football?
One thing, me personally, I'm gonna miss the most is definitely the brotherhood. I feel like the brotherhood of La Jolla is outstanding right now.
Do you guys get the cabin trip back, the mountain trip back this year?
No, unfortunately.
Not even like an abridged
Pull it off.
version, like going to a beach bonfire for a night or
We'll
something?
do some. We have some mock things. We'll mimic some of the things we do in Big Bear, just here locally.
That's
Yeah, I know.
brutal.
Yeah. Hope to have that next fall. But
That feels like a signature thing.
Got shut down.
I gotta do it
I
one
tried.
time.
My man. Same question across the board to everybody. What are you gonna miss the most, except for you, Coach, because you're not retiring. I'm not gonna let you, ever.
I would say the brotherhood too. Just the relationships I've been able to build through football.
Definitely, yeah. Just all my friends.
I did you dirty by asking you third.
Pretty much.
Everything coming back though, other than the trips, like you're gonna get the full. You get to be in the lockers for a normal amount of time at halftime. No halftime on the end zone, or are we still a little worried about some protocol?
Still some question marks. I'm waiting to get some answers on, believe it or not. But yeah, from what I'm hearing right now, we should have fans back. Hopefully, we can pack the stadium. Have some fun. Get back in our locker room.
Because the
Some of the
halftime
less
speech,
pro-
the halftime speech feels like something that even though everyone got football back,
Right.
didn't get football back. Like that was the one thing where just watching the two teams go to the end zone, I'm like,
Yeah, it wasn't quite. the
this
same.
isn't that. Like you don't get to be like,
Pound on the
we
locker.
gotta do this. Like I mean, not everyone needs to be Coach Hines. Be like, we're back into a corner. Have you guys seen that video or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Hines out of Coronado went like legitimately viral on Max Preps. And if you've ever seen Hines, he's like shirt cut off, like bald head, 6'4", beefy dude. And Coronado, like, love him to death. They are little white kids. They are like little teeny white kids. And he's like in the corner, like, sometimes life backs you into a corner. He's just punching a locker, just like aggressively punching it. And you're like,
All right.
just don't pan to the left and show him the team that he's giving that speech to,
Right.
and then that'll go viral. Just if you it just didn't love him, but yeah, it was a little bit crazy. So I hope that you have some of that cool fire. I will end on this funny anecdote of just this is what you were able to get away back in the day. It's our homecoming. We're getting blasted by Cathedral. I mean, Tyler Gaffney's running up and down on us,
He
and
was a stud.
and coach is pissed because he just can't figure it out because this is our first. He's a freshman at this point, and who is this kid? So Ponsford walks in all charged up. I mean, he is fired up to be like, we gotta win this one. And he, as he turns, kicks one of those 6 packs of the Gatorade thing, straight shot to the face of one of our backup linemen who had braces.
Oh no.
So cuts his whole mouth. There's blood everywhere, and he's like, "Please don't sue us. You want to start at quarterback? Great. You get out there." And the kid's just like, he's just like, F yeah! There's just blood squirting everywhere, and we got so pumped up to go back out there and lose 70-0. So I am very glad that the La Jolla program is in much better hands. I appreciate you guys coming out here, folks. We will have all of their socials and anything tagged in this interview, so you can follow them. I know that you guys are just a couple of the team, and this is a team sport, so please thank everybody. Wish everybody congratulations and a happy season, man. Anything that we didn't, any closing notes you guys feel like you need to get out there? No mic drop?
Yeah. No,
Deal.
appreciate you having us in.
Guys, thank you very much, folks. La Jolla High School football and everyone else getting started tomorrow. We'll have a couple more teams in studio this week, but welcome back to welcome back to normal.
Yeah,
Welcome back to normal. We'll talk to you soon, sports fans.